Hi, and welcome to The Vision Within. I'm Lori.
I'm Loretta.
I'm Katrina.
And I'm Lisa, and it's a rainy May day in 2017. So glad you're here with us today.
We are having the best time with this, and I hope you're having a great time with our show too, because we are really, really enjoying connecting with you, connecting with each other, and just kind of talking out loud through these topics. And so what we wanted to talk with you or talk with each other about as we help each other is dealing with this physical reality and transition and change. Because a lot of us are going through shifts right now, as maybe many of you are going through shifts. And how do you deal with the physical changes in your world? Like, I'm getting ready to move. It's changing jobs, careers. And I know in my life, when you take one of those little assessments, and it says to assess your anxiety level, which
one of those stress tests,
right? Stress tests. Yeah, I'm embarrassed to say I've taken many of those in my life. But when I take those, I realize every time I have had a move that I hit the top peak things all at one time. When I was younger, every time we would move physically, location-wise, I was having a baby, we were changing a job, we were moving states. I mean, I would hit all the major life stressors at one time.
Oh, wow.
And it seems like I just like to get things over with big booms, I don't know why. But I'm getting ready to do that again, making a change.
You're pregnant? I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Totally kidding.
Yeah.
Totally kidding.
But how do we move through this? So
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So when you're talking about you going through these major changes at these different intervals, what's the timing? Is it like because for me, honestly, I seem to be on every 10-year cycle. I have something significant, right? So what's your timing like when you go through these
Interesting, right? Interesting that you would ask, because when I was younger and first married, it was every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
So
that's pretty
right?
fast
Can you
moving.
imagine how much growth that is? Because
Yeah.
literally from the time I was 16, and that was kind of one of those pivotal turning points in my life. One of those awarenesses. I lost my mom at 16, so it was a major life shift.
Wow, yeah.
And so literally at 16, 18, 22, 24, because I was married very young, had kids very young, so it was every 2 years.
Wow.
And then it became, how long? It was, I think from one move to the next then was, like 11 years. That was the longest time in between. And now it seems to be 5. It went from like 11 to 7 to 5. So I don't know. It's now, I took a big jump, now I'm descending again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
11 to 7 to 5, yeah. Because my significant phases were every 10 years. I mean, at 29 and 30, got married, had my first child, divorced at 40, remarried at 50. So it's like, every kind of 10 years. But I feel like, I feel like those are the huge milestones that make us shift. There's not saying that there's nothing significant that happens between those two, right? So it's almost like you're on a course or direction, right? This is for me, but I think that, so we're going along, and whenever we have these huge shifts, we're shifting everything and kind of going in a different direction while we're getting these little filler experiences in between.
Yeah. Right.
Does that make sense?
And funny though that now that you say that, I'm like looking at you and I'm watching you do this, and I just realized that my last really major shift was 2 years ago. And here I am now, 2 years later, making another major shift. I'm back into the 2.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whew. Got chills.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What about you, Lisa? Do you have periods?
She's here. Oh boy, does she!
I really haven't thought about that cyclical thing. There's it's interesting. A lot of people talk about every 7 years, or in numerology, it's every the 1 through 9.
Speaking of that, then what is the 2?
I don't know.
What is the 1?
Yeah.
The 10 for me.
Right.
As we want. So
Right.
we have to figure that out. But
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
yours?
yeah.
What's your number? Because I think it maybe goes down to like a number.
I'm a master number 22.
But what's
But
your
shifts in your life.
Oh,
So 22
years
is
I thought you meant
every
in
4
numerology.
years?
Yeah.
Is every 4 years then? Because you take the 2 and 2?
I think I'm one of those that doesn't like. I mean, I resist change.
Right.
From well, no, I shouldn't say that because I've let go of so many things. What am I saying? I have no clue. I just get these intuitive messages for inspired action. So I just know when it's. I have to go back and
Still
see.
is time.
Yeah.
You have to look at
But I mean, I knew like back in 2013 that I just knew somehow that by January 2017 I would no longer be working in my job. I got this intuitive message, this inner
so
guidance.
That was maybe 4 years.
It was well, but no, it had been. I mean, my career was a 35-year career.
Right, but I mean, when you got that guidance to the time that
It
you
was
let
about
go
two
of
and
the
a half
job.
years that I got the guidance. However, if you think about a cycle, it was 35 years.
Okay.
My marriage was like 30.
Wow.
I've been in my home since 1982.
Wow.
So
So-
you really,
So I
Yeah.
feel like, and I remember back in 2012 or 2011, I was like, I want to be everywhere at once.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if I am keeping an anchor in some things,
Yeah.
like maybe my physical home,
Yeah.
because I've let go of everything else.
Got
Right.
you.
I've absolutely taken everything else out of my life. I don't even know, like I think we might have mentioned in a previous episode, I don't even know who that was a mother of two or was married for so long
Yeah.
or was a lawyer lobbyist for 35 years. Who
Right.
was that?
Right.
But I am still the same person living in a home that has a bunch of junk in my storage room that you want to help me.
We could discover something really major in there. I don't know.
I will just say this real quickly. The last time I had someone help me with that was about 6 years ago. And I was down in my garage, and the storage room is a huge room.
Yeah.
That's this huge square footage.
Yeah.
And it's just packed to the hilt. And this energy worker was helping me. And she went into the storage room, and I was still in the garage. And I said, hang on a minute. Literally, my left heel was stuck. Hang on.
Can we pull out a chart of like what part of the body the
I
foot
can't move
is?
forward.
Wow.
I'm stuck over here. Give me a minute.
Holy Moses.
Couldn't even get through the door into the storage room
Wow.
to help clean out some of it. She just intuitively said, this corner is really dense. We got to work here. Okay.
And I'm just laughing because I can get a real visual.
And to this day, that's the only
Anchored to the
corner.
ground. Wait, I can't move.
I can't move. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I'm like, what is going on? And that's the only corner that's been worked on.
Oh,
The
wow.
other corners are still dense.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's pretty funny.
What does all that mean? Maybe I jumped around a little bit. Are we still on topic?
Yeah, we are. I'm trying to think, I was thinking about what my cycle looks like, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure, because it's kind of all over the board.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some mathematical
there has to be a pattern.
relevance
Yes,
to a pattern.
yes,
I'd have to
yeah.
sit down and think about that. But at the same time, and I do believe in numerology, at the same time, I feel that almost I'm constantly evolving.
Yeah.
From moment to moment, from day to day, from year to year.
Right.
It's a constant transition.
Right.
It's almost like, it's not black or white, it's gray. It's sort of like that, but on a much grander, gentler, easeful depending on the day, graceful depending on, if I want my hand over the light on the dashboard
Sure,
or not.
sure.
That's giving me the warning.
Yeah.
I feel like I've hit this place in my life. Interesting choice of words. I feel like I've reached a place in my life
Yeah.
where it's constant growth and evolution.
Yeah.
And it's, fairly uncomfortable the majority of the time, and that's
Yeah.
good for me. So I feel that whatever my cycle looks like, I am in a great letting go and rebuilding phase, especially for this year. And I'm excited to see what's going to come out of it.
Yeah. So something that just landed for me when you guys were talking about this, which is so incredible. I remember creating a map, and I was guided one time to look at a legend, and so like a legend of a map, you know, and like the dots that lead us here, you know. And so many times we can only, you know, see, I think I would like to do this in my life, or I think I would like to do that. So we kind of throw a dart on the board and we say we want to be here. But if we went from point A to point B directly, we might not have the skill set for here. And so we would fail at it right off the bat, you know. And I've done that a lot in my life with these short cycles, right? So I go, you know, D in these short cycles, and I get to that point, but I don't have the full skill sets to really be successful, so then it fails. And I've had you know, again, nothing has failed. You get great stuff, but economically in the physical world, I've had failed businesses. That were near and dear to my heart, and it was hard to watch them fail, you know. And so what I noticed was when we go in these longer cycles, you know, like you two girls, you are very willing to sit through the discomfort and absorb the richness of the slower pace, you know. And that's, my gosh, that's full of richness when we're willing to sit through that, you know. And so when I look at that gap that they had of those longer years, my gosh, most of it was extreme discomfort in those years. But my gosh, it molded me into, you know, where I got. And then as I'm looking at those descending years, it kind of is a realization, you know, maybe I've had so much growth in my heart, right, that I'm wanting to go to shorter things like, ooh, you know, I'm kind of winding down. So the visual I'm getting right now is when you drop a penny in that circular thing that is, you're making a donation that goes around that circle thing. It's real wide in the beginning, and it's picking up speed. And then as it gets right on the target, it's like, ooh, and it drops in.
What about you, Loretta? Are you?
Yeah. I was also, yes, but I was also thinking that I feel like you had to just clear some stuff. Right? And so you know, we all have to go through certain things in order to clear, you know, the way for the other things too. So I think maybe some of us just maybe had different things to clear or needed to move through things more quickly than the others. But
I mean, I love your analogy about you don't have the skill set if you jump into it too quickly. And so you have to go through it to gain the experience and understanding and knowledge before we can actually jump to that new timeline. So
exactly. Okay. Right. And so, you know, from my perspective, I mean, when I've gone through my major life milestones, you know, the 10-year intervals, I do truly believe that it was because I, you know, I mean, everything is kind of predetermined. I mean, I believe that we've already, you know, made a contract of what we're supposed to figure out this life, and so mine was just moving through that. And I feel like now that I can finally move forward in doing, you know, the life's work that I'm supposed to be doing. Not that there's going to be any more challenges. Of course there always are, right? But, you know, some of the significant milestones in the past that I have gone through all were for a purpose. And of course they all, you know, helped me to grow. And I think that there will be some other lessons to, you know, in order to go through those. But I feel like I've become more clear and more focused as time has gone on. It really reminds me too, I was looking yesterday on Facebook, and I saw somebody had posted a video of Stephen Jobs when he had done the some type of speech for like some kind of graduating class.
Okay.
And he was talking about how, you see what your path is by looking backwards to
Yes.
see
Oh.
all
Yes.
the different things. And that's
Right.
how you know, because everything that has happened to you has led up to this very moment
sense.
of what you're supposed to be doing. And, he was talking about how, some random or
Yeah.
seemingly random things happened in his life.
Yeah.
Right. And when he looked back, not understanding why they were happening, but then
Right.
20, 30, 40 years in the
Right.
future,
Right.
then you understand why you had to go through that, right? And I think it's the same for
it's
us.
it's so perfect too because I was just talking about this yesterday, and what you're describing is sacred geometry. It's the Fibonacci sequence that a leaf it gathers all of the genetic coding from one leaf, and then it takes in all of the new information. What is the atmosphere like now? What's the sun like right at this
Wow.
moment? What's the water conditions before it forms the next leaf? And so what he's saying is you have to look to the past and you have to gather all of that data. So a real concrete example would be, I was just thinking about this. Let's say we get guidance from numerology, okay, or our Chinese symbology. Let's say we get some kind of guidance, and it's ancient guidance, ancient wisdom.
Okay.
We take all of that wisdom and then we look at what is our growth? What am I feeling right now? Where is my heart? What is all this new? And then based on that guidance and all the new information, how do I want to take the next step in my life?
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Because we're creating live time.
We're
creating
constantly.
right now.
Right.
New information that has never been done before.
Right.
It's never been done. And all we have is the past, where we've created in the past. Plus how we're feeling right now,
Right.
live time, everything in our surrounding, and then that's how we roll in that moment.
How does that land for you, Kat?
It lands for me as truth because I can see in my life, even out of some of the moments that I perceived as challenging at the time, there were beautiful learnings that came as a result of that. It built on my skills and ability to be able to move forward. And I don't want to be an infomercial about what I'm doing, but I love natural health and healing and had a business at one time. And what I know is that, and what I've been working with my coach on, is about navigating things based on how you feel in the moment versus I was so laser focused on what I wanted the end result to be that I plowed through to make sure that I could bring that into reality. And I had blinders on, and there were important things to learn that I completely went, whoop, I don't see you, I don't see you.
Yeah.
And went right for the end result.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so now I feel, as painful as it was to close my business, I'm now getting an opportunity to understand business from a different perspective based on what I'm doing, what I'm learning, and I'm getting another gentle opportunity to look back on understanding where the miss was,
Right.
Right.
and
That's, yeah.
conceiving and
A gentle message for the opportunity.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
getting a clear opportunity to be able to reimagine what impacting someone's everybody's, whoever wants to come, their health from a natural perspective. So, it's just such a gentle message. And I think back about how I lingered in the pain of letting go of my business for so long.
Yeah.
And how it hurt so much because I knew that this was the way that one of the ways I wanted to be able to impact people's lives. So in looking back, I can see how all of it has evolved into where I am now.
Yeah.
And opening and unfolding something different,
Wow.
and even if it's possible, even more beautiful and inspiring. So,
And how easeful it's been for you to,
yes.
in a position as a coach, to be able to help other people's business as you wish you had had that for yourself. You can be, because I can just say from personal experience, as you were talking to me, and what is so huge about you is your compassion. Like, you are literally compassion in action. If Kat was a word, her word would be compassion. And when you were talking to me on the phone, like I just had tears streaming down my face because you were so compassionate with me and knowing that I have to talk out loud through things, that you saved me from hurting other people by compassionately saying, you know, I would invite you to see maybe if you do it this way versus this way. And I can't express how much pain that saved my heart by you compassion. And you had skin in the game. So, I mean, you compassionately guided me, right? That is your gift. I mean, it is so your gift. So being put in this position that now you can help people with their beautiful businesses, right, is showing you how to be able to now treat your next business with such compassion. Like,
And I might just, as we're wrapping up here, for the viewers too, through experience, staying in so many uncomfortable situations for so long,
yes,
you get to the point where you're finally ready to listen to your inner guidance.
right,
Yes.
And maybe you have the skill set to make the next move
yeah,
and didn't have it before. And a lot of people will stay in unhealthy situations like a dysfunctional marriage or a dysfunctional job because even though it's so uncomfortable, the fear keeps them stuck.
Right.
sure,
Maybe kept me stuck.
Sure.
The
Me
fear
too.
of the unknown.
sure,
Or even the unworthiness that I don't deserve better.
yes,
Yeah. Or sometimes we know that we've outgrown a situation,
Right.
but our heart feels like we can't leave that person, place, or thing behind at this
So we
point.
ignore the inner guidance because I that's too scary,
Yeah.
or I don't deserve
Yeah.
it.
right. Or our love is so deep, like
Yeah.
to your point, and rich
Yeah.
for, you know, the person,
Right.
that we're not seeing that we're not offering that love and richness to ourselves.
Right.
Right. We can only give what we have. So
Right.
if we love ourselves, the more we love ourselves, the more we can love others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful point.
And what a good way to wrap up.
There you go. I would recap, but we have been all over the place. Like
Yeah.
we've talked about, you know, evolution and inner guidance, and we've talked about how we've transitioned from one place to another in terms of our life experience, and we've talked about living from our heart
And
and
cyclical patterns.
cyclical patterns and the Fibonacci sequence. And there's so many juicy tidbits in what we've discussed today and how we evolve on our journey. So,
But we
lots
can
of
do
good
it.
insight.
We can move forward.
Right.
Yes, and we
all-
would love to hear.
Right.
We'd love for all of you to give us feedback about how are you evolving in your journey? What
Right.
learning have
Right.
you had? We would love to interact with you. So you can go to risingtidesglobal.com and
Or just find us on our Facebook page, Rising Tides Global.
Ruby.
Yes. Very, very easy. And that's a great way to connect with us because we really, really love to connect. If you can't guess, we love to connect.
We want to
So,
hear from you and learn
we
from
do.
you.
We really do. Yes. So thank you so much for being with us today. I'm Lori.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Katrina.
I'm Loretta.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Have a great
Bye.
day.
Bye-bye.